Make sure you tune into Dominion TV every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Download the app. You can get it on Roku and Apple, and get ready for an awesome kingdom time. We're empowering young women and women to be the best that God has purposed them to. Hey y'all, welcome to Evolve with Shauna Marie. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so excited. I have an awesome special guest. Listen, this month we have been having our Overcomer series. Ooh. Listen, that's what I believe. I believe that you are an overcomer. And God just has some special things that he wants to say to you to help you believe it, to help you walk in it. So as you guys know, last week I gave my testimony about how God helped me overcome the spirit of suicide. And I understand that a lot of times people don't realize that they need help and the type of help that they need, right? We know we need God, but sometimes we need to add a little something else. We need to get some help, need to get some counsel, need to seek somebody out. So I got somebody just for you. My special guest today, Miss Tiffney Davidson-Parker. Yes! Hey, sis.
Hello, sis.
Listen, thank you so much, because the one thing that I've gotten a lot of prayer requests about and emails about is about people's mental health. Like we're in the middle of this pandemic. Our world has been shaken upside down.
Yes. And
we have all these losses, all these uncertainties, and people, even the isolation, right? Isolation, being in the home, not being able to go to your church services.
Yes.
I mean, not being able to see family, even for all of our nursing home residents, not being able to see their families, or those that have family members in nursing homes.
That's right.
They can't go see them.
That's right.
So that begins to take a toll on us mentally and emotionally. So I had to bring an expert in that could help us walk through this, because there are people that are challenged in this pandemic.
Yes.
But there's a way that we can overcome with God and with help.
That's right.
So can you kind of walk us through what it looks like or signs that we're getting ready to have a mental or emotional breakdown or challenge? Because sometimes we don't know.
Yeah. And you know, that's a good question, and I often get that question. But you know, it shows up differently for everyone.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it can show up in someone's life to where they don't feel motivated. They're not wanting to get up in the morning. They're not wanting to engage in those things that they normally would do that bring them joy. Or that bring them peace, right? They start to maybe separate even more so, other than social distancing, but really start to isolate themselves in ways that are not healthy, right? Or they start to indulge in things that are not healthy, right?
Good.
Overeating, oversleeping, over drinking, smoking. I mean, you know, doing those things that now are risky type behaviors, you know. And so those are some of the signs. Another sign can be aggression.
Wow.
Right? So if you have a friend and you're like, well, gosh, he or she, last time I talked to them, they really weren't themselves, and they seem to be on edge, or like they're about to bite my head off real quick. So that could be a sign, you know? So sometimes depression or anxiety can show up as anger. And that's not what people think of, right? Oftentimes they think right? Oftentimes they think of, oh, sad and down and out. But what about that person as anger?
And that's as you said that, because there was such a rise of suicide, such a rise of domestic violence, and that could have easily been some of those triggers. So tell us about your business, what you do. I love your why. I won't tell it. I'm not going to tell her why. So tell us what you do, your business, and your why, because your why is very powerful.
Oh, bless you. Yeah, so I am the president and CEO for Universal Therapeutic Services. We are a community-based organization based in the upstate of South Carolina, Greenville. Right? Yes. Upstate, that's right. And so we aim to bring peace of mind for children and families, the whole gamut. So, yeah, as
Yeah.
young as 2
Yeah.
to 102 and beyond.
Wow.
Yep. And why do we do what we do, Shauna?
Why? I love your why.
You know, I really believe that we have the right to be free.
Ah,
We have the right to be free. And we have the right to walk in that freedom.
yeah.
Freedom mentally, emotionally,
Right.
you know, and spiritually. And so when we're not free and there's bondage around our mental capacity, then that keeps us from our promise. It keeps us from our purpose, right?
Good,
And so
good.
when we're not being kept from when we are being kept from our purpose and our promise, then we cannot live the full life that God has purposed us to live.
Yes, yes.
So with that, we believe in bringing freedom for people who are dealing with mental and emotional care issues.
That's
Yeah.
powerful. There is so much power in freedom by itself. There is so much power in that. Tell us how has your organization led, oh my, and overcome with the impact of this COVID-19?
Yeah, it's a really tough question, you know, and we're still leading, we're still trying to
Right,
persevere, we're
right,
still
right,
pushing
right,
because it's not
right.
over. As a matter
It's
of fact,
not.
it's still on the rise,
Right.
isn't it? So, and when we think about all of the organizations that have had to close, that have really had to
Yes, oh my.
downsize and all of that, and so we have had to be creative in our approach to serve. We have had to expand in our partnerships,
Yeah.
but do it in a way that still keeps everyone safe. Right?
Right.
So we're utilizing telehealth services
Right.
Abundantly, above and beyond. So that's been a great help for us, and it's actually helped us to see more individuals
Right.
versus, you know, someone having to drive in or us
that's
drive
good,
to their
yeah.
home or
Right.
things like that.
That
And so
convenience.
yeah, so
Yeah.
there's a convenience factor.
Right.
And we're working to still build in the it being very personal.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's
powerful.
over a screen. So
Right.
we're reaching out. We are rubbing shoulder to shoulder with community
Yes,
partners
yes.
And utilizing our telehealth as best as we can,
Wow.
as well as co-locations
Right.
throughout Greenville County.
What
Yeah.
do you say to the person that's watching right now that is saying, I know that I'm challenged in my mind. I know I'm challenged in my emotions. And I'm looking for help, but I don't know how to get the help.
Yeah.
What tips, let's say they can't afford it. What tips can you give them while they're at home right now? Like,
Yeah.
what are maybe 3 or 4 tips that they can begin to operate in now?
Yes, absolutely. And that's, yeah. So one tip is that you don't have to go it alone.
Ah, that's good.
Right.
You don't have to do it alone.
You don't have to do it alone.
that's
right.
good.
And so if you have a neighbor, a friend, a cousin, an aunt, sister, or brother, let somebody know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Right? Don't
Right.
hold it to yourself.
Right.
Because if you don't talk about it, you can't take care of that situation. You can't take care
Right.
of a matter if we don't speak about it.
So it's a release.
It's a release. You
release.
got to let
Okay.
somebody know.
Right.
So that's step number one.
Right.
Talking about it, letting someone know, taking away the shame
Yeah. That's
or any
good.
kind of guilt about how you're
Right.
feeling, and just speak to someone. So that's number one.
Right.
Number two, you can write down your feelings.
Ah.
Right. Again, it's another release.
Journaling.
Right.
We love that.
Exactly. You
Yes.
can journal. Right.
Yes.
You know, if you are connected to a church body, you can ask
Yes,
for
yes,
prayer.
yes, yes.
You know, and you can pray over yourself.
That's
right.
good, yeah.
So that's another one. Meditation.
Yeah.
Right? Just taking the time to get into a quiet space and not worry about so much of all the things that are pressing right now, but
right.
just get into a space where you can identify your body. I like to call it the body scan.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So where you actually scan your body from head to toe and you start to say, well, how am I feeling here?
Right.
And you're
right.
going through, think about those high-tech movies,
Right,
right?
right.
And they have this scan, and it's scanning you from head to toe, and
How
you're
do you feel?
evaluating how you're feeling and the why.
That's good. How you're feeling and why you're feeling that way.
That's right. So then we're taking inventory
Right.
of ourselves.
That's good.
So then we're
That's
not
good.
being reactive, but yet being proactive,
Right.
because now we know our why.
So you're getting help.
You're getting help.
You're
releasing.
You're releasing.
Yes.
And
yep.
you are being aware.
Being
of
aware.
how you're feeling and why you're feeling the way you're feeling.
That's right.
I want you to tell them. That's powerful.
Being introspective is so important.
That's powerful.
It's so important.
That's
yes.
powerful.
Yeah.
I want you to tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Oh, so we do have a website. Yes. Thank you. We have a website, and it is www.universaltherapeuticservices.com, as well as on Facebook. We are on Twitter under Universal Therapeutic Services, and LinkedIn. Our phone number, I don't mind. My direct cell number is 864-540-1209. And for us, what we believe is that we're here to serve, and if we can't serve you, we'll link you.
That's good.
And not everybody is doing that.
That's good.
A lot of people will shut the door and say, sorry, can't help you. No, well, what good is that? They need help.
But they need help.
They need help.
I had to have you on here to speak about that because, again, there's an option, right? There is help. There is a way out, right? There is hope after these challenges. You can become the overcomer.
Absolutely.
You are already the overcomer.
Yes.
With God, we're the overcomer.
That's right.
We are. We're the overcomer.
Yes.
So I just want to speak to you. If that is you, and you feel like, you know what, I know I've had some mental challenges, some emotional challenges. This pandemic has had me kind of feeling unbalanced, right? I've been stressed. I've been overwhelmed. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe the isolation has gotten to you. The not being able to go to your church service has gotten to you. Listen, every single week I'm going to offer salvation. Every single week I'm going to offer salvation. I'm going to keep the main thing every single week. If you can't do any of this without God. It's not a judgment, a condemnation, a shame on you. No, we have all been in places where we've been challenged. What I'm saying to you is I need you to surrender it to Christ, the one that can set you free. Whom the Son set free is free indeed. He sets the captives free. Surrender your mind, your emotions, your will, your spiritual soul, your situation. Surrender that to God. Just right there where you are, just give it up, because you cannot do it by yourself. And just say, God, I'm surrendering to you. I'm giving it to you. It's simple. I'm giving it to you. Forgive me of my sins. God, I know, I believe that you died and you arose with all power in your hands. I receive you, and I want to live my life for Christ. Amen.
That's right.
That's it. See how simple that is? And you allow God to do the work for you.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you. Thank you, Tiffney, for coming. You're such a blessing. Thank you. Please reach out to her on her social platforms, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on Facebook. Listen, reach out, call, get that help. Pursue the counseling, the help that you need. Make sure you join us every Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. right here on Dominion TV. Shout out to my Evolve Dream Team and to our sponsor, Linda Burgess from Lincoln Heritage. And y'all know how I do. You got to be the light and you got to be the salt. I need you to continue to shine, shine, sprinkle, sprinkle every week right here on Evolve with Shauna Marie on Dominion TV. It's Shauna Marie with the Evolve Talk Show. Listen, if this show has been blessing you, I need you to email in your prayer requests and your testimonies. And if you want to partner with us, make sure you email us at evolvetalkshow.com.